Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Jennifer Perry with My Scrap Room. I am a close to my heart independent consultant and I'm so glad you've joined me today. We are going to be working with the Jack papers. We haven't played with Jack yet, with the actual workshop yet. That's going to be later on. But the papers are going to be used to make a Father's Day kit. And there's actually two cards that we're making. One of them is a Father's Day, and the other one is an encouragement type card. The kit makes two designs, 6 cards each. I only need 3 Father's Day cards. Yeah, I had to stop and count. How many do I need? I need 3 Father's Day cards, so I'm going to do 3 Father's Day cards, and then I'm going to use the same design and make more of the encouragement cards. So I'm going to change it up just a little bit on my end. If you have 6 people in your family that you would like to recognize as great fathers, by all means make all 6 of them. If you only need 1 Father's Day card, of course make the 1 Father's Day and do the rest of them as encouragement cards. So let me show you what comes in the kit. You receive Lagoon cardstock, White Daisy cardstock, 2 sheets of the Jack plaid paper, a full package of the twine. Now I'll show you where the twine goes, but I don't think I'm going to use the twine on my personal cards. What I'm going to use is some of the black shimmer trim to kind of dress it up a little bit, and I'll show you. I'm going to use the black shimmer trim where the twine goes on the card. So this is a change up that if you've got the shimmer trim or you've got another color that you think would look fantastic, by all means use it. If you don't have it, use the twine. You also receive a full stamp set. I already have it taken out of its package so that I can have it handy. And you receive a full set of the black and white dots. So I'm going to have those handy. The colors that we're going to be using for our inks is black, ruby, and lagoon. And as you can tell, my stamp pads are well loved. This is the old style of stamp pads. It's not the new style. I still have quite a few inks that are the old style. I will be upgrading my pads as needed. I'm not going to go changing all of my ink pads just because we have a new style just yet. So the first thing that we're going to do is cut the zip strips off of our pattern paper, which is this sheet right here, or that strip. Where's my eyeballs? There they are. We will not be needing the zip strips for this particular card kit. So I will take the zip strips and put them aside. I have a little drawer that I plan all of our teaching in, and I have a drawer labeled Jack, so these will actually be going in the drawer labeled Jack for me. Okay, so the first sheet that we are going to be cutting is the plaid, and we need to be mindful of the front and the back. So this is the front and this is the back for this cut. So the first cut is going to be 1 1/4. And then 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, and then 6 at 2 inches. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then this is automatically 6. I forgot to mention that we also receive in this kit 12 card bases and envelopes. So I've just got those off to the side already. So this is labeled 1A, so we're going to put this in the 1 card pile. Our next cut is going to be 2 cuts at 4 1/4. So 4 into 4th and 4 into 4th. And then our next cut is going to be 5 and a half. And then 5 and a half. A button popped out. This is going to be extra, so I will stick that in with the zip strips. 5 and a half. And 5 and a half. And this is extra also. These go in the 2 pile. These are labeled 2A. Okay, so this sheet here needs to be 3/4 of an inch by 1 1/4. Okay, so 3/4. And then 6 cuts at 1 1/4. So 1 1/4. These are tiny, tiny little cuts, but you'll understand what we're doing in just a minute. And if you've watched my videos in the past, you know that when they get to be tiny little cuts, I typically, 1, 2, 3, 4, don't do them. I find a different way of doing the layout. But these are critical to the design. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And these go in the 1 pile, which is why I'm taking the time to go ahead and cut them out, because they're needed for the design. Okay, so this is going to be extra, so we're going to set that aside. Our next cut is going to be 1 inch by 2 1/4, and on that it's going to be backside. So 1 inch. Yeah, we just need one of those. Okay. By 2 1/4. So there's 2 and there's a 1/4. Uh-oh. Okay. This is going to go in the 1 pile. Make sure that all of my cuts are made. Yes, they are. Okay, so next sheet of paper is going to be the plaid again. We're going to flip it over to the back side. And we need, so 1 inch. And then 5 cuts of 2 1/4. Okay, so these go in the 1 pile. This one is teeny weeny tiny, so I'm going to go ahead and just make this one trash. And then we need, for this side, so our next cut is going to be 4 1/4. This is spared. And then 2 cuts at 5 1/2. And these go in the 2A pile. Next up is our Lagoon cardstock. We need 2 cuts at 4 1/4. And then 3 cuts at 4 inches. One, two, and this should be 3. Yes, it is. And then 1, 2, and then that's 3. And this goes in the 2 pile. Our next cut is going to be 1 inch. And we need 6 cuts of these. So 1 inch this way, 2 inches this way. And we need 6 cuts. I don't know if you figured it out, but I do not prep before I do these videos as far as making the cards and then making them again for you. When I open the package, other than opening the package to make sure everything is in there, I open the package with you, I read the instructions right here live on camera, I look at everything the first time. I noticed the twine on this one. I went, okay, wait a minute. I don't normally care for twine personally. What can I use as a substitute? That's where I came up with the shimmer trim, but that was just looking at the picture whenever I printed the instructions. These are 1C, so we'll put these in the 1 pile. Our next cut is at 3/4 of an inch. So that's why sometimes if it looks like I'm pausing to read something, I am. I have my instructions on the corkboard above me or in front of me. And sometimes I have to stop what I'm doing and look and go, what are they doing? But I eventually figure it out. So it's 3/4 this way, 1 1/2 this direction. And we need 6 of these. There we go. And I have a rarity today. The house is completely empty, except for Kayla's puppy. So hopefully she won't start barking at the top of her lungs because I have the door open to film. These are 1D. Yep, perfect. Okay. And our last sheet of paper is the White Daisy cardstock. And we're going to cut it at 2 cuts at 4 1/4. But I normally film with the door shut, so hopefully there's not a lot of background noise distracting you. And then our next cut is 3 1/2. 1, 2, 3. But the reason I don't prep beforehand, other than making sure that I've got my supplies, is I want you to see real time what it takes to make these cards. It does not take a lot of time to put them together. It's very quick. And I want you to see real time what it is, other than the fact that sometimes I speed up to put adhesive on. Other than that, you're seeing it live. These are 2C. So we've done all of our cutting. We're going to set the trimmer aside. And then what I'm going to do with all these little bitty pieces is the first thing we're going to do is dovetail them. And you are laughing your behind off because you're looking at me going, I thought you didn't like the dovetail. I don't. But it says to dovetail them. I'm going to do it. Don't care for it. I like the look. I really like the look. It's It's not one of my favorite cuts. And it's just because I'm not proficient at it. So I have decided I'm going to be proficient. I'm going to practice until I get it. One. So just hang out with me for a minute. And we'll get it all done. So Kayla had to go into Denton today for a meeting at school. Her summer classes start on Wednesday, and one of her classes required a meeting. So she went into Denton. My mother went into East Texas because my mother does live with us. She went into East Texas to visit friends and had a doctor's appointment today. I was supposed to take her to the doctor, and she decided she wanted to do it on her own, which gave me a free filming day. So this is an unexpected free filming day. And I thought, well, since I have it, we will work on. See, this is why I have trouble with the dovetail. Can you see that? Why can't I do it right the first time? I don't know, but it will be what it is. So I'm quietly, if you hear anything downstairs, or if there's any rough edits, I'm not sure how this is going to edit out. I'm playing with you, filming today, and doing my laundry. I'm getting my week ready. Unexpected day off. I'm taking advantage of it. I went and got my eyebrows done earlier, got pretty. I would have loved to have gone and got a manicure, but I'm not allowed to wear nail polish at work. So that defeats that purpose. But went to did a little beauty parlor today. Ran to the pharmacy and picked up some C-bands. I'm going to try those. We're driving to Utah for convention, and I get car sick. And I don't like taking Dramamine because it, of course, is drowsy and knocks you on your behind. And I don't necessarily want to be drowsy. So I did some research on the C-bands, and it is a non-drug pressure point type relief. Figured it couldn't hurt. I'll try it. So I went and got a set for me. Went and bought a set for me. And I bought a set for Kayla. Because I get seasick. She can't travel very well at all, poor kid. I kept a full-size bathroom trash can in the back of my car for years because this poor child would get so seasick with a supply of trash bags. So we're both going to try them out and see how they do. If it is a viable alternative to taking Dramamine or Bonine, I will do it. So, did that, put that in, I went ahead and put that in the car so I don't forget about it. Hopefully, we get our packing list soon, because I would love to make a packing for convention video. I don't know how many of you guys are actually consultants or scrapbook or travel for scrapbooking. but I'm going to do a packing for convention. I'm also going to do, when it gets closer to my retreat, I'm going to do a packing for retreat video. It's going to be a little bit different than regular because all these pages that we're doing together I'm taking with me. And hopefully I will just print out a bunch of photos and spend my retreat time popping photos on almost finished pages. So we shall see. Not quite sure, still thinking that one through. But I've done a couple of retreats now, and I think I've got it down to a science. I think I have some useful information, so I think I'm going to pass it on to you. And see how that works. Ooh, I'm not used to the house being this quiet. Excuse me. It's actually kind of nice. Am I still in frame? Yeah, okay. Sometimes I forget that I have a camera above me. Move my hand. You guys can't see. Oh, be nice. Come on. There we go. And I do realize that I've got a little punch that makes this cut for me. And I do realize that I could have gotten that punch out and done this much faster. But I wanted to practice because you guys obviously can tell I need the practice. This is a cut that, I mean, we've been doing it for years, but it's one that I just avoid. Because sometimes it comes out perfect and sometimes it comes out like a 2-year-old did it. And I know I say all the time there's no mistakes in scrapbooking, but this is the one cut that I make that I truly feel like when it looks funky, it to me feels like a mistake. So, I mean, I've actively tried not to make this cut for a while, so I guess it's time to put my big girl panties on and learn it and not be so scared of it. It'll definitely take some weight out of my bag, not having to carry that punch around. Last cut. Now we have to be mindful that we're making 6 of each design. So that's why the cutting's taking a bit. Alright, so we've got our little page flags. Alright. And I'm going to be off camera for just a second. I'm just going to take a moment and put adhesive on the back of all these so that you don't have to watch me do that part. But I wanted to take a moment and show you. I talk about the score tape all the time, and I realized I still had some in the packaging, so I wanted to show you the package. This is the 1/2 inch, and then this is, so this is the 1/2 inch. This is the 1/4 inch to show you the dimensions. There we go. And this is the packaging that it looks like when you're ordering it off Amazon.com. So I wanted to just take a moment to show you that while I still had the packaging. I'm going to turn the camera off for just a moment, put the adhesive on all these strips, and then I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. I've got one more item I want to show you, and then we will start assembly. So we're going to stretch out some score tape. I'm going to run it under, and for this particular card we need it to be a 4 1/4 because that's the width of the card. And we need 6 of these. I do them on the trimmer so I have a better measurement. I can flatten it out easier, and also it cuts like a dream on the trimmer. Okay, so that's what I need for this card. So then we're going to do it again. We need another 4 1/4 for card number 2. One, two, three, 4, 5, and then one more is 6. So we'll set these ones aside. Roll this one back up. And now we can fully set you aside. Okay, so for this card we're going to do it a little bit differently. We normally would do the stamping first and then add the embellishments. For this one we're going to add the embellishments first and then do the stamping. So there's a measurement that I would like to do. We need to go 3 inches down. So right there. And then 3/8 of an inch over. I'm going to do 1/2 and 1/2. So from here to about there. And that's going to be my guideline. And I'll show you what I mean. This is the line that I'm going to put these on. Does that make sense? Okay. And I'm going to work upside down so that I can see what I'm doing. I have put my flags in order of which I put them down. So if you can see right there, I put the flags down in order. Then I'm going to grab them. So 1, sorry about that. 2, 3, and then this one, and this one. So this is the look you're going for right there. And I can already hear you. You're going, hey, wait, look at that. Look at that. You've got something right there. Look at that. I know. We're going to cover it like that. I have a smidge on the back. I'm going to cut you off. Get it? Yep. So this is the general look that we're going for before the stamping. Does that make sense? Okay. Just set it aside there and move to the next one. Now that I know about where I'm going, I can just do the little 3-inch mark. Yep. Just making sure I was right where I needed to be. My washi tape's not staying on. I have washi tape on my mat to keep me in bounds for the camera. My very first video, I did everything way down here, and you could see this, and that was it. And I felt horrible, and I had no extra supplies to refilm. So I couldn't refilm. So it's not the best video in the world. So then I said, okay, how do I keep from doing that again? And this was the solution that I came up with. Now be careful with the shimmer trim if you're using it. There's a backer on the back of it that you need to remove to make it sticky. And that backer is a little bit stiff. And as I was mentioning in my last video, if you're doing quite a few of these in a row, sometimes that backer will shove itself under your fingernail. And in my opinion, that's worse than a Lego going, stepping on a Lego at 3 o'clock in the morning. So, just be mindful that that backer is there. Now, why am I being so careful to measure out the 3 inches? Well, A, I want to have room to stamp, so I want to make sure I give myself room to stamp. B, these flags are longer in some places, and I don't want to go down too far down and have my flags hanging off the edge, because then you wouldn't be able to put it in an envelope and have it come out looking sharp. So this is one of the times that I will measure my work and make sure I'm putting my work at the right distance. And because we went through and put our adhesive on the back, and we went through and cut our shimmer trim. The assembly on this is going very, very quickly. Oh, my daughter just walked in. So sorry, just as my daughter came in, the dryer went off. My little bell was ringing dinging. So I had to take a minute and go take care of that for a second. I am being very productive today. So we're just still putting on the page flags. Once we get all these put on, then we'll do the stamping. Oops. I'm usually a little bit leery of stamping directly on the card, because if you make a mistake, there's not many ways of fixing it. But I just figured this time, if I make a mistake, I'll cut a piece of paper to cover it, and I'll cover it, and we'll work with it that way. But we'll just keep our fingers crossed that there'll be no mistakes. Ooh, I just washed my hands. Now they're very soft. Having a hard time gripping stuff. Come on. Well, any day now. Oh, there we go. I'd say seriously, it is not normally that difficult. That one proved to be a bit difficult. Two more, and then we're good to go. Well, with all the commotion that just happened, I'm forgotten what we were talking about, so hopefully it wasn't important information that we were talking about. I have got a song stuck in my head, and no, I'm not going to sing it because I want you guys to stay customers. The theme song to Give Me a Break with Nell Carter is stuck in my head in her voice. I don't know why, but when I quit talking, it's what I hear in my head today. I may have to look up the sitcom and see on YouTube and just watch an episode and get that out of my brain. It's like a little earworm. There we go. Maybe it's because I don't have any music going in here. Okie dokie. Last one. Then we can start stamping. Normally it's the stamping that takes the longest. It's a little bit weird this time. But I think you're going to like these. See how making a little reference point just kind of helps keep everything where it should be. My goal is to get this filmed today. I'm probably not going to get it edited today because it is our wedding anniversary and I think we're going out tonight. So I probably will not get it edited. But my goal is to get it filmed and maybe get it edited tomorrow after I get off work and get this up so you guys have time to order the product and make the cards. Okie dokie, so there we go. There's all the cards. So what we're going to do now is we're going to take the Lagoon ink and we're going to take the You Are Awesome stamp. Find the block that'll work with it. And I figured out before I started filming that I think this is 2x3. Yeah. Hope I don't drop it. The 2x3 fits really well. Now you're noticing some bubbling. This is one of my stamps that's 11 years old. It does not hurt the quality. It's just a little bit of bubbling inside the acrylic. It does not bother me, so I don't have a reason to mess with it. I'm going to line this up on my grid mat. This is just a spare piece of cardstock in case I need to put the stamp pad down in a hurry. Okay, so I'm going to work upside down because I tend to work better upside down. So this is You Are Awesome. Get it good and inked up. Try not to ink yourself. Now right now it seems really, really dark, but it will lighten up as it dries. And I ink it upside down so that I don't forget and put the sentiment on wrong. Okay. I keep putting my hand in this ink pad. And I'm going to leave the stamp on the pad because I'll need it again for the next set. Because remember, I'm not making 6 Father's Day cards. So I'll clean it, but I'll keep it on the stamp pad. Because I will be needing it for the next set of cards. Okay, so I'm going to put that there for a second. I'm going to close the ink. My handy liner. Handy dandy. Oh my little board's down. Handy dandy stamp scrubber. Now the next one that we need are okay, we'll do the big one first. And then we'll do the little one. Well, do I have a block? No, I didn't pull a block. Okay. So we're going to do the big red star. And these colors will lighten up a little bit. They're really dark right now, but as they dry, they do lighten. Not really paying attention a lot to where I'm sticking my star, because it's supposed to be random. So put these back on this side. I still have plenty of cleaner on my pad, so I'm not going to re-ink it or re-clean it. Respray it, that's the word I'm looking for. Spray it. I'm going to put the big star back and grab the little star. Very quickly. Close the stamp pad. So the very last item that we need to put on these cards are some white dots. And for this, I use my X-Acto knife. Let's see if I can get you close. Where's the toggle? There's that one. There it is. Okay. So we need a big one and a medium one. Really? Alright, that one's having issues. There we go. Nope. That one's a little too close to size, so we'll do this one. Yeah, I like that better. Okay, the medium and the small. Really? There we go. Much better. Alright, I'm beginning to think these dots don't like me today. Wondering what I did to cause a mutiny. I could see even using these cards as a graduation card. It's not a typical graduation card. It does not say, "Congratulations, graduate." But isn't every graduate awesome? Don't they want to be told after all these years of work that they're truly awesome? So, I mean, I could see this as a graduation card. Okay, for some reason my dots aren't cooperating today. There we go. So that, my friends, is card 1. So let's fold them up, and then you can and there is card 1. Oops, right there. Sorry. There's card 1 for you. Okay, so I'm going to stop. We're ready to work on card 2. I'm going to stop for just a moment. I'm going to put adhesive on the back of these, and then I'll be right back. Okay, so we're back. The only thing I did was added adhesive to this sheet and added adhesive to this sheet. I almost did it to this one, but then I realized we have to stamp it and I don't want the adhesive causing any issues with the image. So I did not put adhesive on that one. Now if you notice, these are going to cover it completely. So what I'm going to do, to make sure I get the right borders, is I'm going to go ahead and fold the cards. Okay, so they're folded. Just put them under there so they don't come in undone. And then I'm going to start from this edge here, butt the corner up, line it up, and then if there's any trimming, I do the trimming on this side. because it's much easier to trim on the edge of the card than it is on the fold of the card, because if you accidentally cut the card, you've cut the fold. So I'd rather all of my trimming, if I have accidentally measured wrong, to be on the outside edge. I folded it to make the fold a little more pronounced so I can see it better. And then as you can see, there is a little bit of trimming. You can leave it. That's fine if you feel like leaving it. I always trim it. And I would actually prefer there to be a little to have to trim off than have the measurement wrong and have it be too short. That was almost bad. If I'd dropped it, I'd had to cut everything again. I'm just button up the corners, making sure it's straight, and trimming off the edge. Totally missed the trash can. My washi tape is not sticking. Okay, so for this next one, I want to make sure that I have the right orientation. I think it is this way. And then, yep, that way, and then that way. It is. Okay, so I've got these going the wrong direction. Okay. So our next item is to just put these down. Again, this is where your grid mat comes in very, very handy, because it can make sure that your card is straight so that you get the next piece down. Again, I would prefer to trim just a hair than have it be too short. That one is good. And that one needs trimming. Like, I mean, these are just so minute. It's not a big deal. You can either leave them on or trim them off. Last one. Okay, so we're going to set these aside for a second. Alright, for the Father's Day cards, alright, who's stuck? There we go, okay. So for the Father's Day cards, we need the antlers. So we need our little antler. I think for this I'm not going to use my backing sheet because it's such a small image, and if I smush it, I don't want it to get spread out. Okay, so if you're making all 6, keep going with the antlers. And I'm going to stop. Close this. And I need this block one more time. I'm going to pull up the happy. So that's one thing about the clear, is if you see that you don't have a complete, you didn't get good inking, you can always re-ink it before you lay the stamp down. With rubber red, you can't tell if you've got a good inking. So that is one of the reasons why I love my acrylic stamps. Pop that one back on. And then we need our Father's Day. Again, I'm just lining it up on the mat, grabbing the appropriate size block. If you've noticed, I leave my ink close until just before I need it, only because if I can find a way to stick my fingers in it, I'm going to. That stamp is stamping beautifully. Wow, those turned out fantastic. Okay, the next item we're going to do is, I believe, yep, those will fit right across. Is we're going to go ahead and put our shimmer across. Really? Come on. Quit being hard-headed. You see all the ink on my hands? Sorry, my washing machine was calling me. So there we go, we put that on there. I think we were talking about the amount of ink on my hands. And here. So for this card, because I've put so much sparkly down, I'm not going to put as many of these. I'm going to do points with this lot. Like that. Just a little bit of framing. Nothing major. Okay, so we're going to very quickly put adhesive on the back of these and then pop them down. And then I'll show you what we're doing with the next card. So this is the traditional design minus they wanted to use the twine. I'm substituting the twine for this, which is the black shimmer trim. Because me personally, I thought it looked better. If you like the look of the twine, by all means use the twine. One more. See how quickly these came together? There you go. So there's the Father's Day card. And now we're going to take the same page that we cut and we're going to do the "You Are Awesome," and we're going to put on the bottom. So we're going to do the red stars, same thing that we did in the first one, but instead of having the banners, we're going to put the black shimmer trim. Oh, I forgot there it is. On this stamp, you really need this little piece of foam. Okay, so we're good with that. Get our cleaner. Do I want to use the big star? Yeah, I do. I think my daughter left something in the microwave. It's down there beeping at me. Want that there, and there. Okay, so we're going to clean this one off real fast. Trade stars. Okay, you still following me? Okay, so we're going to clean out the little red star. Close the ink pad. Now we're going to put the shimmer trim down. Almost had it. Almost had it. There it is. Now, before we put our sparkles on, let's put the tape down because that was a little difficult on the last set to go back in and put the tape down. It was a wee bumpy. And I don't know if you've quite realized it yet, but we're taking a card set that gave us 2 designs and we're making 3. So we're ending up with 3 cards that are very, very useful out of a 2 design card kit, using the very same supplies provided. Bring it closer for you so you can see. There we go. Put the scissors away. Okay, so for this one I'm going to put an extra sparkle because I dropped some red right there and I want to cover it up. And I'm working with the power of 3, or working in groups of 3. Okay, either my knife is very, very sharp today and I keep cutting the backing paper, or this adhesive in this batch is extremely strong. I keep cutting the backing. Okay, so let's put these together. Alright, so let me zoom back out. No, the other direction. There we go. So we have these, and these, Well, let's put it this way. There you go, a finished card kit. So here is the original You're Awesome, the way the designers wanted us to do it. This is the original Happy Father's Day, the way the designer, well, minus the shimmer trim. Then this is the alternate You're Awesome. Until next time, bye-bye.